Hello guys, I'm your humble host, young Seaka, and on today's episode we have a very, very important guest. I want to say that not a lot of people, you know what I mean, bring him up when they talk about the greats in the city, but this is someone that I've personally seen growing up. Went to my high school, I grew up with some of his siblings, a big renowned name in the city, and really well affiliated, if I do say so myself. Please, could you introduce yourself to the camera?
What's up? It's Jeff Sanon. What's poppin'?
What's up, bro?
You made it. You made it.
Oh man, listen, there was more than overdue, I feel like, for the wave that you've done in the city just by yourself, you know what I mean? And on top of that, once you were able to kind of like bring along a group, you know what I mean, the people you're affiliated with, brothers, you know, I don't want to talk too much, but you know that. But man, before we dive deep into this interview, do you mind telling me, what do you mean, what do you have me sipping on today?
I'm sipping on some Appleton. I was gonna get some Babon Cool. All my Haitians, you know what it is, but we couldn't get that, so this is what we doing. And
could you explain to me, why is rum such a big thing? Why is it such a big thing out of who you are, really?
Man, I don't know. It just goes with me. Like, I get smoother with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy because I feel like a lot of people, once they drink rum, you know, they kind of go really.
I don't get messy. I don't. Like, no. I get smoother. Like, it's crazy.
Really, eh? I guess it kind of goes alongside with the singing part, being, you know, the smooth guy in the room.
Well, I mean, yeah, it definitely comes in handy for sure, man. No, this is my thing. Every time I go out, this is what I get. I usually get like the smaller version.
Yeah.
Kill that.
No, definitely. Next time we'll bring a bigger bottle just to get you off the shits even more.
This is good. This is good, man. I appreciate you guys.
Okay, so you know, let's get right into it, man. How was it for you growing up in Ottawa?
Man, growing up in Ottawa, so like, I'm gonna start by saying I was born in Montreal, right?
Okay, right.
And then I got here like I was super young.
Were you old enough to kind of tell the similarities and the differences?
No, I wasn't paying attention like that.
Okay. How old were you when you said you moved here?
I think I was about like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, probably just in time to start school.
Exactly, okay. So not really into your formative years. You weren't really like that paying that much attention.
No, not yet. But so it feels like I've been here all my life.
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, no, growing up, so I basically moved from Montreal to the West.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in the West.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were from the East the whole time.
Nah.
Damn.
Nah, I've been in the
infiltrator.
I've been in the East for like a few years now, but like I was in the West. Then when I was 13, I moved to the South.
Okay.
And then I moved to the East.
Okay, so you moved really all around the place.
Yeah, I feel like that's a dope thing. That's why I love the city, because I got to have a taste of all the sides. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, I was originally born in Montreal, so I kind of relate to you in that sense. But ever since I moved to Ottawa, I was always in the East, you know what I mean? So that's why I feel like a lot of people that I grew up with don't really get what it is to be from the West or what it is to be. But once you get into those events, especially in this music scene, I feel like you get into, like around a lot of people that kind of get a different perspective of the city. So I feel like that's why you're such an important piece of the puzzle. But what high school did you go to?
Sammy G, represent. You already know what it is. Yeah, man. Four amazing years.
Yeah, and how was it for you to, you know, kind of grow up over there? Because I remember when I was growing up, that school was growing up. It was tough in the beginning. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of ethnicity were moving into the school. You know what I mean?
For me, like, cause like I had just moved. Like I said, I was from the West, right? I was at Franco West. That was my school. Like, I had so much fun, and then I was mad when I had to move to the East. I didn't want to go to Sammy G because they got uniforms. I'm like, what? They got us wearing uniforms? It was all about swag in grade 7. I'm like, oh, I got to wear a uniform. But I don't know. Like, I got taken in by like some dope people. So like, it was super dope. Apparently, like right before I got there, like actually, when I got there, initiation was like all-time high. Crazy.
I got that so bad.
Did you? I know. I mean, I think because I was a new guy, like they didn't touch me, you know.
Yeah.
I got lucky or whatever. But some people, they went through it. But it was smooth for me still.
And ever since I've known about you, even your younger brothers and everybody around you, you know what I mean? You've always been known as the music guy.
Yeah.
So how was it for you to kind of jump into this music world for you?
Yeah, it's always been that since grade 5.
How did you jump into it actually?
Music, like, I think when I was about 8 is when I started writing, and then so I was 8, started writing, and then I was 12, and I was playing around with this like little keyboard that I had or whatever, just to like, that's how I started like messing with the sounds, you know what I'm saying? And then when I was 12, I started making beats, and then 13 is when I started like making records. Yeah,
but I mean, for me speaking, right? I remember when I was a kid, the first time I've actually taken in music was when the whole 50 Cent era was happening, you know?
Right.
I was super young. I was in the living room, and I have these vivid pictures of my cousin coming downstairs and just flipping BET on. Right. And without any type of like, you know, I didn't have a chance to even say yes or no to it. It just kind of like entered my life.
Yeah.
How was your experience for music with that?
My mom. Yeah. My mom. Okay, so my dad is a musician.
You're Haitian, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
My mom is my dad's a musician. My mom loves music, so I couldn't escape it, you know. And I'm happy you said 50 because that's the reason why I do this.
Yeah.
2003, like when In the Club came out, I'm like, I'm doing this.
Stupid era.
I'm doing this. Boom, like grade 6, like writing. I'm talking about like I got the 9, the Glock. It's so funny. I'm pretty sure any dope rapper you know today started like that.
No, it is. That era was crazy.
Yeah, I feel like they found a way to like include you in a world that you weren't from, and that's what made it so appealing. I'm you know, I lived in the West, and like it was pretty rough, but I didn't see nothing. But I guess that's what made it appealing to like listen to, you know, a guy that's like from the gritty streets of New York. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, that's a new world for me. Like, okay, like what is this? Like, and I feel like the way he did it, it was just, I don't know, it was just inspiring. I was like, yo, I want to do this forever, you know?
There's something funny about 50 because he would talk maybe about those things that us Haitian kids we would never relate to personally, you know? Like shooting Glocks and doing this and doing that. We would never relate to that. Yeah, exactly, because our parents were so, you know, they would take us and basically cover that us under.
I stayed in the house. This is why I feel like I'm as seasoned as I am. I didn't leave the crib. My mom did. She's what do you call that? Like just overprotective.
Yeah.
You know, that like and like I said, I lived in the West, C block, Caldwell. So yeah, I just stayed in the crib and that's all I did, make beats, you know what I'm saying, every day. Since the day I started, I just made beats every day. So like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it was for me.
And you say that 50 Cent is what really got you?
50. Like
what about that era kind of interpelled you to get into the music world?
Man, In the Club is a banger. Like, In the Club is a banger. Like I can't say too much more. Like it's like that song came out and it was like set.
And it's so weird because we're too young to be in the club. You know what I mean?
That's what lets me know that like music is powerful beyond understanding. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I was too young to understand what bub was, sipping bub. If I'm in the club, I wasn't even close to being able to be in the club. Weed, this, like a bunch of stuff that like I knew nothing about. And first of all, I guess it kind of helped that like Dr. Dre,
yeah,
that was like, I think him and Michael Jackson were like my main inspirations.
You put them on the same level?
Yeah, like for me back then,
right.
Like I was like in grade 5, I didn't do my homework because I was watching Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. Like that was like, remember friggin' what do you call it? I think it's like LimeWire. It was it was something like LimeWire or whatever. So I would like download Michael Jackson videos, study that.
Right.
And like and Dre been killing it since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So like yeah. So knowing that was Dre's artist, I'm like, okay, cool. And then I find out that he produced this. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then I hear the record and I'm just like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like, you know, like I definitely wanted to be G-Unit back then. I wanted that piece, you know, that chain that was spinning. I wanted that.
I probably still have some of those overgrown jeans.
Yeah, yeah. Remember they had those the tanks.
Yeah.
Oh man, good times.
And that's why I kind of get, I don't want to say scared, but I say concerned about artists that care so much about the game. You know what I mean? I can definitely say that growing up, you were probably the first name that I've heard in music. There's some people that I've paid more attention to, but you are personally the first person, like, you know, my brother coming to me, yo, Freshman just dropped a track, building that excitement around the school, you know what I mean? And even past that, you have affiliations with Maurice Moore. Do you mind kind of talking about that?
Yeah, for sure. Maurice Moore.
And the whole Story Gang, shout out, actually.
Yeah, Maurice, I met him years ago. I don't even remember when. This is like years ago, and like, yeah, we just clicked on some music shit, like, yeah, I think it might have been like a Facebook link, you know, like a Facebook thing, because that's where I was promoting all my music, you know what I'm saying? So I think he might have found it on there. Back then, when no Maurice, it was Jay Fizzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was rapping crazy bars, like astronomical, logical, da-da-da. Like,
I was rapping.
You didn't know?
Man,
come on,
you're missing
a piece of history, OT history. Maurice Moore, R&B heartthrob, was a rapper before. That's how he started. Jay Fizzo and like.
Y'all knew that?
Of course, I'm from GB.
Yeah. So yeah, man. That's how he started out, and like, yeah, and then since then, like, we just.
I guess you guys kind of connected on that tip.
Yeah, we just been bonding since, you know.
A lot of people don't know that, but you have the bars. Like, recently you just dropped one of your snippets on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I could really, like, it brought me back to a time where, like, I don't know, I feel like not a lot of people nowadays, especially the newcomers and the new people that are
new
like,
wave, yeah.
exactly, that don't really know what you're about. And even when
right.
they listen to your, you know, your R&B stuff,
right,
the composition of the tracks, the bars and everything, you put them together, there's another level of expertise when it comes to that. Respect. So we kind of do talk to that about your art. How long did it take for you to kind of get this deep into the music side of things?
I mean, ever since the first day I started writing, you know, I feel like it was a grind from there. Like, you just grow, you just keep growing. That's the thing. To me, it's like I can never lose my humility because it's like I'll never get to a point where I know everything. Right. That's my power, is the fact that I don't know everything. So I'm always gonna look for what to learn next. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear Chank's daddy shit, I'm like, oh, how you do that? Like, how you do that in the beat? And I'm like, okay, cool. Let me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what keeps me passionate. Imagine being the dude who thinks he knows everything. Then once you hit the ceiling, like, what do you do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, it's like that's why it's never gonna end.
Yeah.
Especially as music evolves, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's a cool wave. Like, I like that. Let me see how I can put that in and make it my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
do you feel like recently you had to kind of dumb the music down for people to kind of get it?
No, I don't feel like I compromised my sound. I don't think I compromised at all, because this is the thing. Even from my R&B stuff, I mean, you know, the more so like the R&B stuff, like I feel like I'll make sure that there's at least one metaphor in there.
Of course.
And this, I said at least. You know what I'm saying? So like, and this is something you'll know if you actually pay attention. And I feel like nowadays nobody really wants to take the time to really dissect lyrics, you know what I'm saying? It's more like, you know, let's jump up and down, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I love that, because I love to see the culture, you know, have that energy,
that unity, basically.
Yeah. It's like the, you know, the culture is like a community, and that's why, you know, it means a lot to me, you know, that, you know, the music represents us, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I feel like I never compromised, like, similes, metaphors, like the main elements, exactly, the fundamentals of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what raised me.
Yeah,
you know, because that's where I'm from.
Of course,
so it's like I would never want people to not know where I'm from because of what's going on now.
No, for sure. And I feel like that's one thing that's really lacking in the game. You know, a lot of people kind of get in the game and they kind of overlook what happened in the past, because they feel like they can do it on their own. You know what I mean? Once there's a certain connectivity that you don't get from the music anymore. People back in the days, they used to get in the studio, get together, do tracks, go back and forth. Even longer back in the days, it's like if you mess up the 9-track, if you mess up that, it's like we have to redo it all over again the next day.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what's kind of lacking in the game. A lot of people kind of overlook what happened in the past, kind of overlook the whole structure of how the game came about. Kind of just go about it on their own. I just feel like that's not what's up with you guys. You know what I mean? You produce, you write, you rap, you sing. It's like, is there really something that you would like to get into next?
Music-wise?
Yeah, music-wise, or even business-wise, really. Because I feel like you've been in this game for a
few years.
Exactly. So
yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I think the next goal would be to give people a body of work, you know, because there's been a lot of tracks.
Talking about
yeah, there's been a lot of tracks since Facebook, just releasing record after record, you know, and I feel like, you know, I want to, I think there's something that you prove when you release a body of work. It's like, because people, when you drop singles, it's like, okay, boom, you can give us one good song at a time, but can you give us something that is cohesive and that we can live with, like a soundtrack? You know what I'm saying?
You think you've came to that point in your artistry, in your career as a musician?
Well, I mean, I haven't released.
No, I'm not saying that you've released it yet, but I'm saying, do you feel like you're getting closer to that time?
Oh, I feel, yeah, I have that confidence. I have that confidence for sure. To me, it's more about, you know, just balancing real life, balancing life and my passion. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I wish I was in a position where I could just focus on my passion.
And I mean, you getting into that music game, being as seasoned as we were talking about, not a lot of people might know this, but you've signed a management deal with Dimitrios Management Group, right?
Yes.
So from that transition of being a completely independent artist, you know, finding a management group, you know, that kind of like guides you as to where your music career should go. How do you feel it, like, the differences? Can I do talk about that?
It's just cool to have extra input. Because, like I said, I don't feel, I'll never be the guy that thinks he knows everything, right? So when you have somebody, a second brain or third brain, because I have two managers, right? Right. So when you have two brains, or whatever amount of people around you that can guide you, like you said, and just, you know, give their input, just that, the feedback, to me, it means a lot. Because, you know, after making music for so long, you get used to it. Right. That part becomes easy. It's more like, how do you reinvent yourself? How do you stay creative? How do you stay original? How do you stay passionate, hungry? That's the goal. The challenge.
Do you feel like finding that management group for you was kind of a confirmation as to maybe, you know what?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I am made for that.
Definitely. You know why? I'm going to tell you a story. Like, Demetrius, the first time I heard of Demetrius, he was rocking with my boy Melvin Elray.
Shout out him. Yeah, I went to high school with him too, actually. Yeah.
So, that's the first time I heard of him. And back then I was producing all of Melvin's stuff. Right. So he heard my work. And then I think, you know, just me being Melvin's boy, obviously Demetrius ended up hearing my songs. He played in my records, and he wasn't that interested back then, right? So, and it's interesting, that's how we met Maurice, like through Melvin. So it's like all connected, right? So then it's just weird how at the beginning he wasn't that interested, but then years later he hit me up and he's like, yo, listen, I like what you're doing. Let's see what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, there must have been a growth there for him to feel different about what I had going on, you know? Sure. And then I feel like, obviously, like as a manager, when you see that like an artist that you were working with is produced by a guy, but that guy can also mix music, he's also an artist, then
you become a triple threat.
Multifaceted, so you can do a lot more with him, right? So I feel like, you know, that kind of helped me in that sense. And like, yeah, it's definitely a blessing having people who could give you that feedback and just like guide you, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's like, even though you could be making music for like 8 years or anything, you could be doing something for so long, but like you get to a point where you're not sure. You might do one thing where you're like, I don't know, like I like it, but I'm not sure, you know? Right. And then you send it, and then people give you their feedback, and then maybe they'll say something that'll inspire you to do that thing that's missing, you know, for you. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, and speaking to that, you know, you've been making music for a while. You're almost indebted in this city, you know what I mean? A lot of people know who you are, whether by music, by social media. You're so present everywhere. People don't really have a choice but to look at the music scene and kind of see your name appear somewhere, somehow. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Through the production work, through your own music. Being at it for so long, man, like, you feel like you're still as much in love with the city as you were back then?
If anything, I'm more in love with it.
Speak on that.
Just because there's so much happening. There's guys that I respect that are doing their thing, and it just feels good to know that I care about the city and I'm doing what I do, and there's other guys doing their part.
Right.
So, and it's just part of the dream of that. The dream of just getting to a place where it's like, like, oh, I'm in LA, yo, Chanks, where you at? Oh, yeah, I'm in Miami, yeah, whatever, I got a show, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That, to me, that's the dream, just like, I say Chanks because me and him go back.
Yeah,
you know
I know,
like,
trust.
It's other dudes, but me and him go back literally like, maybe like 09.
I heard you on release, trust.
so you know it's true. Yeah, so you know, so it's just, it's like, just seeing people grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know. It's inspiring to me, you know? So, like, yeah, that's the whole thing for me. Like, just seeing people do their part.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of makes you feel like, man.
Wait
like,
up, I got to step my game up, too. Yeah.
100%. Always.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it wasn't for them. By myself, I want to step my game up, right? Even though I always want to, like, evolve. Period. Just as a person. As much as an artist. But, when you see people doing their thing, it's like kind of makes you feel like I can't slack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely a motivation for me too.
Right.
Yeah.
To kind of finish that off.
Just do your part.
Yeah. To kind of finish that off, I kind of wanted to, you know, after seeing how much you cared about the scene and how much you cared about the other people, your affiliates, if I may do say so myself. Who are some of those people that, you know what, you could see yourself making music with, you consider yourself being part of the same scene?
Man, see, I don't want to start naming people and forget people.
I'm putting you on the spot still.
Man. Man, I already said Chanks. My dude, Eddie P. Steady the Chief. We got a single out. It's called Raising My Mind. I produced that. It's out on everything. So Seti, Omari
Miz, yeah.
And then there's another dude named Omari too. Who else? J Chin.
Yeah.
Huey. Yeah, man. It's a lot of people making noise, man, and it's like, you know, I'm just waiting for the right time. I don't like to force stuff, right? So it's like, to me, it's like I see everybody working, and it's like, yo, like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always gonna support.
Yeah, for sure.
I have nothing inside of me that tells me not to show love.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
And I might be forcing a bit, but you know, when's that tape coming still?
Man, right now, I have like 4 records in mind.
Out of
4 records. 4. I feel like, think about it. We keep talking about how people have a shorter attention span. Right. If I give you 4 records, that's a great start.
Right.
For a person that just gave you singles.
Okay, no, definitely.
You see
I see how you're
gradual.
Okay.
That's how I live my life. I like to gradually ascend. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, my problem, the reason why, if anybody asked me, like, why I'm not further than I am right now, it was just because I focus too much on the long term and not enough on the short term. So the long term was so far that I dreamt more than I
actually worked on it. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? And that's just me being completely transparent.
You have a name for that tape?
I do, but it's not set.
No,
it's not set.
Okay, good.
So,
good.
but trust me, you know, my brain's always working.
No, I'll be definitely waiting for exclusive in my DMs. No, definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I got some stuff in the vault or whatever. Definitely. So, no doubt, it's exclusives on deck.
For sure. Appreciate you for coming through. So this was another episode of Sip to the Script. I'm your humble host, Young Seaka. See you guys later.